How you feeling, Chuck?
I'll muddle through.
Because this is a lot to ask. And if you're not up to it, just throwing this out there, maybe you don't need to testify.
No, Howard, there's only one way forward. Let justice be done, though the heavens fall.
Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be discussing the character Howard from Better Call Saul, along with what I think might happen with this character during the second half of Season 3. Warning of possible spoilers, and let's jump right into this. So in the most recent season of Better Call Saul, Howard has been helping Chuck in his case against charging Jimmy for breaking and entering, but he doesn't seem too happy about it. Howard became involved with the situation due to Chuck revealing the tape he secretly recorded of Jimmy, along with mentioning that he has a plan. This plan, of course, was to get Ernesto to accidentally listen to the tape, leading him to indirectly tell Jimmy about it through Kim. Jimmy, filled with rage, falls right into Chuck's trap as he wanted Jimmy to know about it, predicting that Jimmy would try to sneak into his house and steal the tape. Although Jimmy surprises Chuck by barging into his house during mid-daylight, Jimmy still falls right into Chuck's hands by doing exactly what he wanted. So although Howard is on Chuck's side of things, I can't help but notice that Howard almost feels bad for Jimmy considering what Chuck is putting him through. Maybe I might just be misunderstanding Howard's facial expressions or reactions, but I swear he actually does feel guilty for helping Chuck out, as he doesn't seem to like what Chuck is doing at all. Howard was originally introduced to be a main antagonist of the show, but in reality the big bad guy here is Chuck. Everything Howard does negatively in the show is really because of Chuck telling him to do so. So the reason I say this is because I feel like maybe Howard will declare that enough is enough and become fed up with Chuck. Now, I'm not saying that Howard will secretly team up with Jimmy or anything, but maybe he'll try to stand up to Chuck and help him realize how ridiculous his vendetta against Jimmy is and that it needs to stop. So Chuck won't stop talking about how he's doing the right thing, about how all of this is just because his brother broke the law and needs to be punished. Although Chuck just seems to want justice for Jimmy breaking the law, he's really getting back at Jimmy for all the times Jimmy has messed with Chuck in his life, and that's just plain wrong. Chuck is honestly manipulating everyone, as he obviously has less than pure intentions when it comes to his charges against Jimmy, and no matter how professional and noble Chuck tries to be, everyone can see that. So will Howard stand up and decide that he no longer wants to work with Chuck? Maybe he'll try and tell Chuck that he should be committed and get help for his condition, but we'll just have to wait and see. I could see this being one of Howard's shining moments to prove himself, as I could even see him end up being fed up with the entire McGill family by the end of the season. And honestly, if you rewatch the show and try and see things from Howard's perspective now that we know the full story, I definitely enjoy his character a lot more. Howard cares about his firm, and with Chuck being his partner, I can definitely understand him supporting him like this, but at this point, I think he's done putting up with Chuck in his vendetta against Jimmy. I've been speculating on the possibility of Howard turning against Chuck since the Season 3 premiere, as Howard hasn't been exactly happy with Chuck's decisions. And I was going to do the video on this topic last Sunday, but I decided to wait until episode 305 aired on Monday to fully gather my thoughts on the matter, and with that being said, in episode 305, Howard even tried convincing Chuck to not testify, but Chuck obviously didn't listen. If only would have taken his advice, because it seems like Chuck kinda dug himself into a hole by the end of the episode. So moving on, in the episode 306 promo trailer, Howard tells Chuck that he's at a crossroad and that Jimmy's just not worth it. What crossroad is he talking about? Episode 305 ended off with Chuck's mental breakdown about Jimmy in court, and considering the way that the judges looked at him, it's fair to say that they probably believe Jimmy now that they truly understand both of the McGill brothers. So did Chuck lose the court case? Will he get committed for his condition? I wonder if he'll ever admit that his sensitivity to electricity is all in his head, as it genuinely seems like he's just realizing that for himself. I don't know how exactly Chuck started becoming sensitive to electricity, or what his first experience noticing it was even like, but whether or not he's placeboed himself into thinking that he's allergic to it, I think that Chuck has definitely genuinely believed that his condition is completely real. But of course, let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments section below, along with your predictions and theories for Howard and Chuck for the rest of Season 3. I'd definitely appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, or even subscribe for future Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad content. Feel free to check out more Season 3 predictions and breakdown videos on the channel, but that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Maybe you don't need to testify at all.
No, I do. I'm the only person who can adequately explain the context of that tape. Otherwise, the defense will tear it to shreds.
It's already a solid case. We have Jimmy's statement from the pre-prosecution diversion. There's my testimony and the private eyes. Maybe there's no need to put you through the ringer like this.
This isn't about me or my health. I'm not going to risk Jimmy getting, what, a year's suspension? Maybe 2? He deserves disbarment, not some slap on the wrist.